Morning, Fraser. Monday morning. What's going on? We've got Constance, and I've already had to change my shirt because she spit up on me. But she's very, very smiley, and yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So far so good. Let's you can hear her in the background. Let's see what the day holds. Not sure yet. All right, dude. So this is the different of all different jobs, attempts, fix-it, repairs that I've ever done. This is a breast pump. Do I look like a breast pump cunt? I might actually. It's not important. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to try and fix a breast pump. It is it's toast, and we just got we chatted with the company today, Medela, Medela. If anybody's looking for a breast pump, the warranty process on this was ridiculously quick and efficient, better than any I have ever dealt with. Literally about a 7-minute phone call, and I texted I emailed the image of the receipt, and they're already shipping it off, kind of thing, right? So it's done. It was that quick. But she said to recycle it, toss it. So I'm going to go inside it and see what's inside it and see what makes it tick. I'm excited, but definitely different for me. You know.
Awkward.
Allie says it's awkward. I don't know. So the problem is getting into it. Like there's not. Oh.
Hold down.
Hold down.
And then let go.
Okay. So what I got to do is I got to take this off somehow first before I can see anything.
And that's where it breaks.
And it's possible I'm just going to break it right away.
Game called.
It's already broken, so it doesn't really matter.
Game called and this video is done.
Maybe. Stop it! Well, if I can get at least one spot where I can see how it kind of works. See, there's got to be something to it. There's got to be some way. I realize these things are built, you know, like around these things, but there's got to be something. There's got to be a way. Stop it! Very uncomfortable. The breast pump keeps turning on. All right, let's do some quick research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
See?
Woo.
See?
Woo, and I turned it up. That was really scary.
Yeah, I got a small video here. I'm just going to take a look at.
Do.
I can turn on a breast pump like nobody's business.
Uncomfortable.
So the one I'm seeing on there looks like it's an older one, but it's you can access the bottom already, right?
Oh. This is cauliflower au gratin goes good with lamb.
See? Let's do the cauliflower au gratin. I like the cauliflower au gratin. I cannot figure this out yet, so there's got to be a way to get into that. Because in order to get into it,
What is that one called? It's called this.
Medela Swing. So there's multiple things, but they're older versions by the looks of it, because they've got a removable bottom. This one does not have a removable bottom. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this. This may not be kid friendly because we're talking about breasts and bottoms at this point. So I'm just saying it might not be appropriate.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll try and keep it up here. My eyes are up here. That has to come out. must. We must.
Stop! Gee whiz.
They're just rolling off the tongue. There's nothing I can
You need
do.
to put a disclaimer on this one. Unless you're old enough to read Arthur Queen Margaret, then don't.
See, it's gonna be something simple. I know it's gonna be something simple. This has to come off. This has to snap off in some way, shape, or form. Kind of like that. Problem is I need 13 hands. That's the problem.
I found the one.
Disassembly?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're slicing open the gray thing.
Okay, well, let me see.
They just sliced a little slice with the thing.
I found a video of this exact unit and how they're dealing with it. So they're cutting the gray portion, but I'd rather have them cut it so that I can see how it's done first. Once I see that, then potentially
That's all.
no, it's a baby. Well, the gray thing is definitely glued to this. Seriously, dude, how long is your video, man? Alright, keep going. Yeah. Kid can take care of itself, I'm sure. Dude is killing me here. Did they say what this one was doing and why he's taking it apart? It's as I figured. It's just a click together kind of thing. Yeah, but I got to get in there and click it. Get it separated. Just like that. Don't even think about it. Grr. So again, I still need 14, 15 hands. There's jokes in there too, I'm sure, but I'm not going to go there. All right. See, it turns out the smart way to do this was to, if you can, find a video where somebody else, you know, does it first, destroying theirs, so that you don't have to, you know, completely destroy yours. Oh, okay, slow down, slow down. So apparently that comes out as well. And we're in. Woohoo! It's like safe cracking, but for breast pumps, you know.
Did you have to cut it?
Nope.
Sweet.
Let him do that.
So then you just saw how it comes apart?
Yep.
Without cutting it. Oh,
Yep.
smart. Where's your little friend?
There we go. The universe display. So what we have. So what does it normally sound like?
I don't know.
'Cause this is just sucking, right?
There's supposed to be a break in it, right?
Yeah.
Struggling with my brain.
I'm sorry you're struggling with your brain. Allie's struggling with her brain. So I don't see any difference when I do anything. So all the lines look secure. They all look solid. You know, if there was something wrong with the motherboard itself, there would be no way for me to ever know. Because I'm not an electronics kind of guy, right? Like I would have thought it would have been something like a short somewhere, which would have been obvious, but you know, it does not seem to be so. But it seems to be more this than anything else. There's a motor that goes around. So it's losing air here somewhere.
Can you actually tell that?
Yeah, I can feel it. Because it's sucking in. It's got to let go, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of fun. I'm going to put you over here so maybe you can see a little bit better what I'm doing, because I'm blocking you with my hand there. So this is basically just the air chamber as far as I can figure out.
It's clogged.
It's kind of, well, it doesn't feel clogged, but that doesn't mean anything. Because, you know, as we all know, I do not know what I'm doing. So there's a diaphragm. There's a diaphragm here, there's a diaphragm there.
Who knew a breast pump could be so interesting?
Who knew a breast pump could be so fun? I mean...
You took it too far. Too far, bud.
Sorry.
Desperate times.
Desperate times.
Yeah. Oh, man. Ooh, I had a panic.
What's that?
You didn't have one, though. I'm not starved to death. Might eat my feelings. That's a question I need to ask myself.
Are you? So basically, the diaphragms look fine. I put that back together. I'm going to put this back in because there's really not much else I can do. That's in there. So at least we know how to take apart a, what is it? Medela Swing Maxi. Battery seems fine. Motor seems fine. I presume it's something with the motherboard, which is why it's probably way cheaper for them to just ship us a new one than it is to try and repair it, right? But no idea. No idea. And I couldn't tell you if it works or not.
You can later.
Yeah, we'll get Chas to try it out and all that sort of stuff, but I am...
She doesn't have to try it. She can bring over the other one.
Oh yeah, she'll know, because I am not strapping this thing to myself. I'm just saying. It just seems like a bad idea. So, but I've done all I can do. There's no loose wires. Yeah, everything seems fine. I checked the diaphragm. The diaphragms don't seem like there's any rips or cuts or tears or holes in them that I can see. But I mean, man, you know, if it was a tiny little hole, but I can't see how a tiny hole would get in there. I think if it was gonna rip, it would be ripped. But
There's an emergency.
there's an emergency?
No Diet Pepsi in there.
That's not funny.
If it was a real emergency, I would have been freaking out.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna put this thing back together, and we're gonna go from there. Sorry?
Did you have to push any other way in the car to get to the stroller?
I don't know. Maybe. Allie's jonesing for a... That makes sense.
Remember how to put it back together now?
Yep. Well, yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact. Yes, I do.
Stumbled on those words.
Okay, so I didn't, but, you know, I figured it out. There we go. There we go. There we go. And this, that should be it. I should be able to just snap that back together. We won't know if that works until Chas comes home. So, for now, that's done. Interesting though, how to disassemble and reassemble a Medela Swing Maxi breast pump without damage. So, hey Fraser, hope your day's going okay today, buddy. Chas came over this morning, and well, actually, Allie went over to look for something with Chas because Chas was looking for something or other, and Allie brought back the breast pump that's not working anymore for Chas. It's a Medela Swing Maxi. It wasn't, so it's supposed to, apparently it's supposed to suck and then release and then suck and then release, and it was just not releasing. So for whatever reason, whatever was going wrong, Allie wanted to, like, she only bought it like 2-3 months ago, right? Like February. So we called up the company. Chas is uncomfortable doing that. Allie would have done it for Chas, but she's still uncomfortable doing that. So I called them up and chatted with a very nice lady who was like very efficient, very knowledgeable. Literally the whole conversation, like I said earlier, took about 7 minutes. And that's with her chatting with me, her taking a, I'll be right back to you, I'll put you on hold for a second, while I sent her the email of the, the receipt. And yeah, it's shipped off. It's already shipped, like a whole new system. So, and she told us to trash this one because, they don't want it back, right? So at that point I figured, all right, because I wanted to see how to get into it anyway. And at that point I was like, all right, I'm getting into this thing. And so Allie found a video of the exact same model, and that gray bottom is like it's like a rubber coat, but it's glued on to the plastic on the bottom. So the video, the guy didn't talk at all, so I have no idea what the problem was with that particular pump, but he just basically cut it, and he was ripping the gray rubber off. And then once he ripped the gray rubber off, you could see all he does was go in there, a common screwdriver right where the gray rubber goes in, it goes pop, pop, pop. So it was that easy to do with the rubber still on there. Why wreck the whole thing if you don't need to, right? So got into it. All the wires were secure. All the wires were solid. I don't know much. Okay, let's be totally honest. I don't know anything about electronics and motherboards and all that sort of stuff. But you know what? I know if there's a broken wire. I kind of have a vague understanding of diaphragms because, diaphragms were in carburetors and all that sort of stuff, right? So I get that. So I found the diaphragms. There's 2 diaphragms in there. There didn't seem to be any tears, any rips, any holes, anything like that I could see. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It sounded different when I put it back together. But I mean, that could be just my imagination too, right? So, but yeah, it was a really cool little project. I don't really even care if it works or not, because I got into it. I was able to figure out how to get into it and pull it apart, look at it, and put it all back together, and it still works or doesn't work the exact same way. So whether I fixed it or not, I took it apart, put it back together, and it's no different, and it's no more damaged than it was before. Hopefully it's fixed, but there's no way to tell until Chas comes home and actually plugs it in and tries it out, kind of thing, right? So, but it was really cool. It was fun. It was just different. I mean, it was yeah, that was as different as it gets for me. So that was fun. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. It was good. Anything different. And then we went shopping for that cauliflower dish thing that Allie makes. Well, we're going to a dinner tonight at Greg's. So there's a bunch of us going over there. So he's cooking up lamb. It's the Jewish Passover tonight. So we're gonna go and eat the lamb, and yeah, it's pretty cool actually. So looking forward to that. Getting together with a bunch. I may take some video tonight for tomorrow as well. It's hard to say. So yeah, we shopped and then just came back and I actually put my riggers on today, but I'll chat about that tomorrow because there's too much video for that today. So I'm going to put that on tomorrow's video as well. But so I'll chat about that tomorrow. Don't know why I'm chatting about it now because I seem to be non-stop talking about it. I just can't seem to stop talking about it. It's about fishing. I love fishing, you know. And I thought it was weird having breast pumps and downriggers on the same video. It's just, it's kind of literally. I'm not going there. I was going to say peaches and oranges, but it doesn't matter. It's totally different. Yeah, that was bad. Anyway. Wow. Alrighty. Where are we at? We, my friend, are in Acts 6. The book of Acts, chapter 6. So in those days, this is verse 1. In those days, the number of disciples was increasing. Basically, there was stuff going on that there was widows in the different, within the different groups. There was Hellenistic Jews, Hebraic Jews. The widows were being overlooked in the daily food distribution and all that sort of stuff. So they chose deacons. You've heard of probably of deacons in a church. Well, the deacons were literally servants to organize and make sure that nobody was being overlooked for the food and all that sort of stuff, right? So one of the deacons that was chosen was Stephen. Verse 8. Now Stephen, a man full of God's grace and power, performed great wonders and signs among the people. Opposition arose, however, from the members of the synagogue of the freedmen, as it was called, the Jews of Cyrene and Alexandria, as well as the province of Sicily and Asia, who began to argue with Stephen. But they could not stand up against the wisdom the Spirit gave him as he spoke. Then they secretly persuaded some men to say, "We have heard Stephen blaspheme against Moses and against God." So they stirred up the people and the elders and the teachers of the law. They seized Stephen and brought him before the Sanhedrin. They produced false witnesses who testified, "This fellow never stopped speaking against this holy place and against the law. For we have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth will destroy this place and change the customs Moses handed down to us." All those who were sitting in the Sanhedrin looked intently at Stephen, and they saw that his face was like the face of an angel. Then the high priest asked, "Stephen, are these charges true?" To this he replied, now again, he's chosen to follow Jesus. He knows Jesus. He knew Jesus. He probably would have been amongst the group that saw Jesus when he was resurrected. And now he's being brought to task for his belief. So they're asking him, all right, seriously, what's up, man? Now this is Stephen's chance. If he knew that Jesus had not been resurrected, if he knew it was a lie, this is his chance to get out of it and save his own skin, right? But the fact of the matter is, he knew that Jesus rose from the dead. I presume that he saw it himself, but he absolutely believed Jesus raised from the dead. Let's see what his answer is. Brothers and fathers, listen to me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham while he was still in Mesopotamia. Leave your country and go to the land I will show you. And he goes through and through and through and through. It's actually a very, very long speech. He basically goes through all of the history of the Jewish people. Then he says, "You stiff-necked people, your hearts and ears are still uncircumcised. You are just like your ancestors. You always resist the Holy Spirit. Was there ever a prophet your ancestors did not persecute? They even killed those who predicted the coming of the righteous one. And now you have betrayed and murdered him." Jesus. You who have received the law that was given through the angels, but have not obeyed it. When the members of the Sanhedrin heard this, they were furious and gnashed their teeth at him. But Stephen, full of the Holy Spirit, looked up to heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. "Look," he said, "I see the heaven open and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God." At this they covered their ears and, yelling at the top of their voices, they all rushed at him, dragged him out of the city, and began to stone him. Meanwhile, the witnesses laid their coats at the feet of a young man named Saul. While they were stoning him, Stephen prayed, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." Then he fell on his knees, cried out, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And when he had said this, he fell asleep. And Saul approved of their killing him. So again, this is like within a couple of months of Jesus' crucifixion, realistic, probably. Stephen knew exactly who these people were. Stephen knew that these people had the authority under the Jewish law to kill him. He knew the dangers, and yet still he could not deny Jesus was the Christ. He could not stop speaking about the fact that Jesus is the Son of God, and that the Sanhedrin that he was speaking to had Jesus arrested and killed. And then he was blessed when he looked up to heaven. He actually saw the glory of God, and he saw Jesus. He told them that, and then they completely freaked out and killed him. And when they killed him, Saul, who we'll read about in a little while, we've already talked about quite a bit, because Saul actually gets renamed by God to be Paul, and he wrote most of the New Testament. But at that point in time, Paul was actively persecuting Christians, and gave his approval on this death. They died. All of the apostles, all of the disciples who knew and saw, listened to and heard Jesus were there with him. Over 500 saw him raised from the dead. Saw him walking, talking, eating after he was raised from the dead. Can't deny it. And just like one of the priests said in the reading we did yesterday, if this teaching is from man, it's not going to amount to anything. But if this teaching is from God, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Nothing will stop it. And you'll be fighting against God. Jesus was the absolute most influential person ever, period, in history. Our timeline is literally built around his birth, right? BC, AD. I know it's not BC anymore. Now it's BCE, before the current era, and it's CE, current era, whatever. Still, his birth was the pivotal moment for our timeline. There's never been another nothing carpenter, because that's what he was. He was a carpenter. That's it. He's the son of a carpenter, so craftsman, whatever you want to call him. Blue-collar worker who was of the kingly line, who actually had the legal right to be king of Israel, but in his life was poor, was basically a peasant. And yet he influenced the entire world for generations and generations, literally thousands of years, if we consider at least two to be thousands, but nonetheless, something to be said for that. There's just a lot of evidence there to say that Jesus is who he says he was, and Jesus claimed to be God, and Jesus died and rose, died on that cross, shed his blood, rose again to save us, to make a way for us to have a relationship with God. All we have to do is ask, because God loves you that much, buddy. I love you too. I miss you. Look forward to seeing you soon. And I will post more tomorrow.